think frustration probably covers a multitude of sins this evening. First half was a little bit too pedestrian. Looked like the guys were pretty leggy and tired, maybe from the effects of third game in the week. The inclusion of Alan looked like it gave the group a little bit of life, and we needed somebody to try and inspire a little bit more positivity going forward. And a lot of possession, but really not enough creation or efforts on goal in the first half. And I felt that changed in the second period. There were numerous opportunities to either make a difference and to get that one important goal, and also others that we didn't quite make the most of. And in the end, it's been told upstairs it looked like handball on the line. I don't know if anyone in here felt as though or saw that it was, but I believe it was pretty close in the final moments. That was possibly a penalty call as well. So it's not been our night in front of goal. Very, very pleased with the run of form that we're in. Of course, disappointed and frustrated we haven't been able to take 3 points.
Yeah, with all the set pieces that went on tonight, is there anything you saw there that like you could capitalize on those moving forward with just not being able to put them in?
Yeah, a lot. Most importantly, the delivery. You know, we have or had tonight one of the most physically dominating groups that I think I've ever been in charge of. You know, guys like Forrest and Kenny and Jimmy and Bolu and Rapapa, there's some big guys in there. I didn't think the delivery was good enough. And none of those guys can capitalise if you're not getting the ball into reasonable areas. And I thought there was a combination of balls that were under it, over it, inaccurate, and ultimately allowed the Bethlehem group to breathe a sigh of relief and move on. And on the odd occasion that it did get put into a good area, they dealt with it okay. So nowhere near efficient enough. We've been far, far better than that. I think, you know, in terms of set piece goals, we're up there with the best groups, but tonight we fell short of that.
As you said, with the fatigue and like with having a game Wednesday and then now, like was that a big factor from that game to this game, just moving throughout the game, or was it more just tactics?
Well, there's a couple of things. I do think so. You know, I freshened it up a little bit. Guys like Kenny Tribbett, although he played 80 odd minutes the other night, has not had a lot of soccer. Donnell King, I thought, did a terrific job out wide. Rapapa, who didn't start obviously on Wednesday. But the core of the group has been very efficient. We've kept our goal intact now for 5 games on the spin, which is, again, not to be underappreciated. But it does, and there can be certain times where you look out there and say one or two of the guys are just lacking a little bit of sharpness. There was no lack of endeavour, but the vital moments of just being able to break beyond someone or create half a yard to find you know, a clearer sight of goal or break beyond an opposing defender, certainly in the first half was lacking. As I said, I thought Alan's inclusion inspired a few who had been out there in that first period. Rapapa was brighter in the second half, he took more chances. It got us on the front foot. We needed a player or two, certainly in that front line. Daniel looked tired. He's been incredible for us, it goes without saying, but he looked tired tonight. And under pressure from 3 centre-backs. So, you know, that makes life ever more difficult. I think in the end we'll look back and say, you know, their change of shape certainly helped them, they'll be well pleased with that. And our lack of clinical edge, which has been good for us. You know, I don't want to get too down about the lack of finishing tonight, because we've been terrific in this run of unbeaten games. But tonight there were 2 or 3 moments where we really should have converted and didn't.
So this is the second game that Bethlehem's been able to keep Rios quiet. Is there something that you're worried about them specifically, like other teams catching on with being able to, negate him?
Well, first of all, let's hope we don't play him in the playoffs. That could be a problem. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think there's a combination of things here. Are you talking about the game we played them away?
Yeah, we played them away.
Did he start that game?
Yeah. Because Chambers was able to keep him pretty quiet most of the game.
Right. Yeah, I remember, yeah. Well, I think in the 2 circumstances, number one, the field in Bethlehem was diabolically bad. By the way, not worse than our field at the moment, which is not in good shape, which again is causing us some issues. You can see the untrue rhythm of the ball and the nature of possession. It's not helping in any way, shape or form. So I'm really, really disappointed about that. As far as Bethlehem, I think the 3 centre-backs tonight were the good tactical move from Brendan. It certainly put Daniel under a lot more pressure. Whenever the ball went into his feet, there was someone snapping at his heels, or there was a lot of pressure from the front. And they defended very, very deep. Uncommon for them. They're normally a little bit more progressive than that. They press a little bit higher, there's more energy. So I've got to give them credit. They come away from home. I know life's going to be difficult, and they've done a good job tonight, but we still had enough opportunities. There's no denying or getting away from that. We had enough to win it, and we didn't get our job done. Simple as that. But I'm not going to get overly uptight about it. I'll be frustrated and disappointed tonight. 13 points out of the last 15, 5 clean sheets, a side that looks very assertive, very assured, and in a good groove, means that as we get a week now to recover, we'll have LaGrassa and Lancaster back fit for next weekend, which helps immensely. Derek Jones is another week closer to being available, and next week's going to be, I would think, quite a pivotal week. We've got a tough away game in Charlotte, never easy there, and then of course the top 2, and those games I would think will have a big bearing on where and how we can finish in the conference standings.
So we'd previously seen a rotation system with both Pickens and LaGrassa, but now with Pickens getting his 5th start, is that something we can expect to see for the remainder of the season? Or yes, Sparrow.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to see LaGrassa.
Sorry. Yeah. Between are we going to see a continued rotation between Sparrow and Pickens, or is it a situation tonight where having to make some changes with Reed being out that keeping it same?
I've tried over the course of this run to think a little bit more about how the new centre-back pairing would settle in and how quickly they could just find a good foundation in this group. And I felt that keeping a very experienced guy like Matt in goal would help them and help the team. And I've, in the past, made, I think, a big effort with a good team and a good squad to rotate players and to get them in the team and to freshen things up. But I think in doing that, when I look back on it, there were some things that lacked continuity. There were some relationships that were nowhere near as efficient as they are now. So as we move down this line, expect to see that the team, barring injuries, may not change an awful lot. Might be 1 or 2 guys in and out. And of course, dependent on results, because I have got good players. and if the players are not performing that are out there, then maybe I do need to change it. But at the moment, I don't think there's a person in this room or any room in Nashville at the minute that would say Matt Pickens in goal with a centre-back pairing of Oxford and Forrest Lasso has not been worthwhile this last 5 games. They've not conceded a goal. So therefore, there'll be some frustrations in the locker room. But I think everyone appreciates and realises that this is not about how good or bad Matt or Connor or anyone else is. It's about continuity, and the team at the moment has to come first with a good run, and I'd like to keep that going.
Was continuity something you were thinking about with waiting so long to make substitutions in the second half, with the chances that they were creating?
Exactly. I just felt like we'd found a different gear. There were some good moments. I was desperate to try and get another forward through the middle, but we were getting more out of the wide areas. It looked like they were tiring, and I just didn't want to make a change for change's sake. In the end, we're almost into that last 5 minutes or so, and it was, let's throw caution to the wind, let's get 3 forwards on, let's hope something drops our way, and one of them is in a more positive position. But there's always a downside to that, and I wouldn't wanted to have played too long in the shape that we had, because we had a lot of attacking players on the field, and it would have, I think it would have been to the detriment of maybe the result at the end.
All right. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.